Council. Tonight is Tuesday, November 15th, 2022 at 7:30 p.m. at a regularly scheduled City Council meeting. Public officials and city administration with us in attendance. Attending electronically, City Attorney Van Venarian. In person, to my left, we have Miss Jennifer Stewart, City Clerk. To my right, Finance Director, Ms. Chelsea Pesta. We also have in attendance Assistant to the City Manager, Scott Schrader, DPW Superintendent, Dan Ladd, Chief of Police, Paul Shakinis, and Deputy Chief of Police, Ms. Heather Kolke. Mayor Pro Tem Lublin, I'd like to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Please.
Oh, and Fire Chief Fire Chief James Coomer, I'm sorry. He was hiding.
Let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
one nation, under God, indivisible.
And I will say the invocation. Dear God, we ask you to preside over this meeting tonight. Help us to act as a unified team to open our hearts and make fair and just decisions that improve our community. Also, may we come together as a whole with the courage and strength to show kindness and compassion as we collectively work towards the betterment of humanity. Amen. Amen. Roll call.
Ackley?
Here, Long Rapids Township, Michigan.
Ambrose?
Here.
Fernandez? Here. Locke? Lublin?
Here.
Osnick?
Here.
Woods?
Here.
We did have communications that Councilmember Locke will not be in attendance this evening. May I have a motion?
So moved. Was a second.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes. We have a public hearing on the Community Development Block Grant Program for the year 2023. We'll be handling that.
I'll handle that.
Thank you.
If we can call to order, open 7:32.
Yes, 7:32.
Okay. The City of Bald Lake has been working with Oakland County, and after some meetings and attendance too, we've been tentatively allocated around $29,000 for 2023. We are looking for council to support our last year's candidates. One is for Haven for $3,012.80. This is to allow assistance for battered, abused spouses and children. This funding will assist those needing emergency provisions such as food, rent payments, medical expenses, and transportation. And the other would be going to our fire department for turnout gear. So for this year, the turnout gear is going to cost around $1,360.42. And the pants are going to be around $1,000 with approximately the per set is around $2,400. So we'll have a resolution before you later on in the meeting. If anybody has any questions that I can answer for you, I'm here to answer.
Anyone have any comments?
Oh, very good.
We've seen this before, and, you know, it's always nice to give.
Can you mute? Yeah.
So we shall close the public hearing and move on. Do we have any comments from the audience on that? No?
Is there any audience participation for the CDBG? No, Mayor Pro Tem, there is not.
All right. We will close the public hearing and request for agenda changes.
Yes, I have a request for an agenda change, amendment. This is in regard to our yearly request to give a performance review for both the attorney and the city manager. I'll be talking about that under new business number 8.
Okay. Performance review. And city manager and city attorney. Any other agenda changes? Requests for agenda changes? Nope. Well, keep moving. Audience participation.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem and Council, we do have audience participation in a written format that I would like to read into the record, and then we will address if there's anyone for audience participation after I'm done reading this into the record. This is a communication for audience participation for Mr. Jerry Millen, 103 East Walled Lake Drive. Dear esteemed council and Mayor Ackley, first, I would like to take a moment and thank you for all the time and energy you put into making Walled Lake a better place. I am writing you concerning an ordinance that you are considering to allow downtown businesses to operate from 8 a.m. until 11 p.m. I would respectfully ask that you vote no on this ordinance, and in doing so, not passing it. My thinking is simple. I understand that we are trying to draw more business downtown, but if this passes and you also allow other businesses in other parts of our city to stay open that late, I feel it will become a problem for the residents of Spring Park, being that they are located right next door to a dispensary. I don't feel the residents on Spring Park need this extra traffic nuisance on their street, especially at this time of night. So I'm asking you to vote this ordinance down and protect our residents. Sincerely, Mr. Millen.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Ms. Stewart. Are there any other, do we want to discuss it at all, or? I don't think there's a lot to discuss, but it's been read into the record. Any other audience participation?
Is there anyone physically in the audience that would like to speak? For those of you that are attending online via electronic means, if you hit star 9 to do the raised hand feature, we can acknowledge you that way. Again, that's star 9. Mayor Pro Tem, there are no audience.
All right, then we will continue. Need an approval of the minutes of the council meeting of October 18th, 2022. Do I have a motion?
Woods will make the motion.
Support?
Osternickel support.
Roll call, please.
Locke, Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Approval. Moving on to council reports. Do we have any council reports? Looks like I, for one, with the library board, we haven't met yet, so we meet on Friday. And so there are no council reports. City manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would respectfully request that you move to receive and file the departmental and divisional statistical reports. Following that, I have several other items that I'd like to report to you that aren't on the agenda to get you up to speed.
You have a motion to receive and file? Or receive and accept?
Second?
Roll call vote, please.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke, Ackley. We're having some technical difficulties with the
All
online.
right.
at the
Well, then we will continue. And city manager, thank you.
Okay, the several items that I've got that covered a broad area. So let me start off by giving you the good information, and that would be that we concluded the farmers market. Most everybody was there, and we did our bridge opening. And I believe we have, for one more time, we have the city's video of the event, and I'd like you to take a look at this and so that the public can see it. I think it turned out to be a great video. Ms. Jakeway, since you're handling that, could you put it up?
Yep. Give me a moment to share the screen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for spending your Wednesday afternoon with us as we gather to celebrate the joint efforts of our city boards and commissions and city staff in opening our pedestrian bridge that connects the Public Safety Campus to the Walled Lake Linear Trail. This afternoon, we are joined by Mayor Linda Ackley, Mayor Pro Tem Lublin, Councilmember Ambrose, Councilmember Fernandez, Councilmember Woods, and Councilmember Osnick. Also in attendance, Assistant City Manager Ms. Chelsea Pesta, HR Administrator and Deputy City Clerk Miranda Gross, Assistant to the City Manager Mr. Scott Schrader, Management Intern Ms. Kaylee Hall, DPW staff, DPW Superintendent Dan Ladd, Eric Menzies, and Tim. We also have our police and fire departments here as well, and City Attorney Van Venarian, and Miss Jennifer Stewart as well, City Clerk. In addition to the celebration of our bridge, we are here today to celebrate another successful farmers market season. Today marked the last market of our 2022 season, in which we experienced record patron turnout and vendor participation. Next year, we are excited to welcome trail users and monarch butterflies, as this site will be home to Walled Lake's very own butterfly sanctuary. On behalf of the Parks and Recreation Commission, Downtown Development Authority, and the City of Walled Lake, we would like to thank each of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to celebrate this momentous occasion. I'd like to introduce DDA Chairman Steve Blair to open our ceremony with a few words, and then Mayor Ackley will offer a few closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Hannah. It's an honor to be here today alongside Mayor Ackley and our esteemed council members. All have been strong champions in building our public safety campus. Our city's dedication towards public service and infrastructure improvements are exhibited today as we celebrate the opening of our pedestrian bridge. This bridge will serve walkers, bikers, farmers market visitors, and community event participants. In addition to serving trail users, the Public Safety Campus is now the Walled Lake Trailhead and future Monarch Butterfly Sanctuary. Improvements along the Greenway Drain include plans to plant milkweed for our beloved species. Following DDA Chairman Ambrose's footsteps, the DDA continues to commit to walkability and serving our residents and neighboring communities with a multi-purpose facility. For many of you today, this moment has been a long time coming. Thank you for your steadfast belief in our elected officials, city boards and commissions, and our city staff who have all worked diligently to build a better Walled Lake. Thank you all.
I want to welcome everyone to our ribbon cutting ceremony here for bikes, bridges, and butterflies. We're all here today to celebrate a major milestone as we open the pedestrian bridge at our public safety campus. It is a pleasure for me to be here with my fellow council members, DDA board members, Parks and Recreation Commissioners, Police and Fire Department, and city staff. Beginning in 2009, the City of Walled Lake joined Commerce Township and the City of Wixom in forming the Trailway Council. In 2010, the Trailway Council submitted a grant application to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, known as the MDNR, to acquire the Cole Railroad and build it into a trail. In 2012, MDNR approved the Trailway Council's application and thus began the journey of our beloved trailway improvements. I would like to commend and give a great thank you to Mr. John Osnick for his leadership on the Trailway Council as he fought to protect Wall Lake's residents and their tax dollars. This journey has not been easy, yet we stand here today, pleased to share that Wall Lake's tax dollars will go towards serving our Wall Lake stretch of the trail. Since the Trailways Council's inception, the City of Wall Lake has and continues to maintain and are part of the trail by our police department and our DPW. And to those men and women, we say thank you. Ribbon cuttings and grand opening ceremonies like this provide the opportunity to reflect on all it took to reach this point. As we reflect on the past, we certainly recognize that we owe a debt of gratitude to many people who worked so hard over the past decade to bring this project from concept stage to where we are today. I am honored to work alongside some of the best in the business and want to acknowledge the dedication and commitment, again, of Trailway Representative Mr. Osnick. Council members Locke, Lublin, and Robertson also worked very hard on the Trailway Council. City Engineer Brad Mackey, Chief Coomer, and Chief Chikanis. I would also like to thank our Public Safety Campus Committee for their efforts in designing the beautiful space that we have today. The asphalt parking lot and landscaping of our Greenway Drain, home to our future monarch butterfly sanctuary, are significant improvements to the site and those who visit. We also owe a debt of gratitude to past DDA Chairman and Council Member Casey Ambrose. Mr. Ambrose championed many improvements to Wall Lake, and his efforts have enhanced Wall Lake's gateways to our downtown and our city. His commitment and forward-thinking strategies has helped build a better Wall Lake, and we celebrate it today as we welcome folks to our public safety campus. And yes, Casey, I know you're watching over us today, and from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you for all you did for Wall Lake. Lastly, I would like to thank the council for their leadership in supporting the city throughout this journey. We would not have achieved such a great master plan for the use of this site and the advancement of the surrounding community without their guidance. Tremendous community benefit will result from future developments that will take place here. We look to the future with confidence, optimism, and great pride in our public safety campus. Folks, once the ribbon is cut, the festivities will continue until 6 p.m., and you are welcome to use and take pictures on the bridge. Thank you for attending this special occasion and opening of our bridge, now the home of Wall Lake's Trailhead. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager Witt, if you could please provide the ribbon cutting ceremonial scissors.
Now, come on, Mr. Witt. You can do better than this. These are not quite big enough or sharp enough. Do you think you can do something better?
Looks like we need the help of our public safety department to provide the ceremonial scissors. Let's go greet them at the ribbon.
Like kindergarten scissors.
celebrate the grand opening of our pedestrian bridge that connects the Walled Lake Trail to the Walled Lake Public Safety Campus. This has been a long-awaited event, and we're so glad that the pedestrian bridge is finally open. What this means for Walled Lake is we're looking to welcome trail users to our public safety campus for our farmers market, but also for the additional recreational events that will be hosted here. This has truly been a long time coming, and I'd also like to thank our past DDA chairman, Mr. Casey Ambrose, who made this possible, and the council members and their support.
Tremendous community benefit will result from future developments that will take place here. We look to the future with confidence, optimism, and great pride in our public safety campus.
This is a great step in the right direction for our city and making Walled Lake a better community.
That was a wonderful video. Thank you for sharing that again. That was a great day, and we all look forward to utilizing our public safety campus expansion, now connected to our Walled Lake Lineal Park.
Let me add to that. I think that I'd like to thank Ms. Jakeway and the Public Works Division for getting it all set up and making it happen. I want to give a big shout out to a young woman who's helping us with the Monarch Butterfly Sanctuary. That young lady is my daughter, Loretta Witt. She spent the last 2 weekends sowing, planting, hoping to take root the seeds for milkweed. And they tell us this was the time of year to do that, so she walked the gullies into the trail and got some going, so we'll see what we got. But she will continue that project and recruiting other younger people. She's a student at a local high school, so she will be recruiting other people to assist that as volunteers. So we're hoping to get that going so that get to see some butterflies sometime next year, hopefully. So that's all we've got on that. The next item that I'd like to report on is, it's another good one, is the beach. We've got the fencing that went in down on the beach, and if you've been down, you see it makes a difference in terms of how the beach looks. It changes the whole atmosphere down there. Good news is next to the beach, the home has been purchased, and they've made some major cleanup already. We've already had to establish a good working relationship with, I guess, the contractors, because they're working with us and working with Public Works. So there's 2 sections of that fence that had to be ordered because we used some extra sections to make it tie into the tiki bar side of the beach. But when you're on the beach, it looks like a completely different place, which it turns out to be a good thing. And so we got more work to do in terms of landscaping this coming year, but you get a good idea how that looks at the beach, and we're proud of that. Those are the accomplishment. One more thing, Pontiac Trail. I'm sure all of you who live on it have been down it. Pontiac Trail in Walled Lake is paved, nicely done. It's striped, and it goes all the way into Wixom. Wixom's got like a brand-new paved downtown for them, and it's striped up, so we got that done this year. In short, we got a whole lot of things done this year, and I'll leave it up to the council to itemize all that thing come January. We'll probably bring that back to you, but all the things that we got done this year, but we did accomplish a whole lot this year, and I'm pretty proud of that. The tree lighting, I've assigned Ms. Pesta to yet again take over the tree lighting. She's going to head that up with all the ladies that have participated to help her get that project going. So it's one of those cases where we shifted around. So Ms. Pest is doing it this year. She's probably done it 5 times in the past. I'm not sure how many times, but this year she'll be heading it up, and we'll give you the details on what we got. It'll look very much like we've had in the past in terms of inside and the tree lighting, but we do have a date, though, December 5th. But we got to confirm everybody. Looks like we do have confirmation from the bands from Northern, Wall Lake Northern, Wall Lake Western, and the extra stuff we'll report back to you by email or let you know, each of you know. And we believe that, as usual, the Dennis O'Rourke, our chairman, our recreation, he will be the emceeing that event along with the mayor. And so we have a plan for that, to get it going, and that's only 20 days out. So hope you're all in town to get that tree lighting going. And that'll put the police department to work, and that'll put the fire department to work to bring Santa in. So that's what we got. Some of you've got some reports of some activity downtown that began with or around the Tiki Bar. I'll let you discuss it after I've given you my report. My report is simple. I've instructed the police department to draft up warrants to arrest those administrators at the Tiki Bar that caused the disturbance of the peace. It will be forwarded to the proper authority to see if that warrant is issued. We believe that they did disturb the peace, and there's a possibility that they can be held accountable in that way. I'm sure you'll tell me in a few minutes just how much of a mess it was that evening. You all got your phones blowing up. So did we. So did the police department. We had 2 people on, and we unexpectedly had a whole lot of noise and people and cars and problems. Second, I've instructed the police department to follow up on an investigation that some of the employees are intoxicated while they're serving liquor to other people in that. And I've instructed them to complete an investigation there and forward those results to the Liquor Control Commission for the state of Michigan. That's all I need to say right now. I would expect some input from those council members who got those calls and actually visualize. I didn't see everything. I didn't get all the calls from the neighbors that you get. I got the calls from the police department and the police chief who was on top of it that evening. So it was unexpected, but we're in the business to do that, so we're going to deal with it now. Having said that, that's just about all I've got for the evening.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. City Manager.
We may have comments on the Tiki Bar. I don't know if, I think now is the appropriate.
I want to jump in on that. I did receive quite a bit of calls on the night when it happened, so I did drive by. There were some residents up the hill that were advising that they almost got run over, that people were driving by throwing stuff at them as they were trying to get to their property. You know, we just talked about a lot of good work going on at Walled Lake, right? When you go down there now, there's tire marks all over the place. Myself and Councilman Ambrose, we last minute on Friday said, listen, we can't have this place looking trashed. So the day after, we went through and picked up about 2.5 bags of trash, right? That was just pretty much strewn throughout the sidewalks, the streets. You know, and that's something that we don't want to go down that route. There's been car shows before. They've been set up properly. They have great support. We have great support on the back end where we're aligned, right, when permits are issued. But, you know, what happened on Thursday night, that's not the direction that Walled Lake is heading, right, as we're trying to build a better Walled Lake. So
What you're describing in terms of cooperating with the cities, we call it corporate good neighbors. We don't always have that from the Tiki Bar in recent years. In fact, they work against us. Every other car show, there is a coordinated event, and when we know it's going to happen, we set up a proper police protection. We bring in extra people, and we have them available that sometimes they just work that event, and we have patrol that does routine patrol. We have schedule cleanup at appropriate time. On this particular event, the cleanup would have fallen on Veterans Day, which our Public Works Department celebrates. They're off, and to bring somebody in to clean up would be triple time and a half. Now, I'm sure that some people would like to make triple time, but if you've planned a 3-day weekend, and most people do, then that becomes cumbersome. And so my call was we weren't going to bring anybody in. I'm not opposed to having the people and the council see how nasty it was caused by that, the administration of that restaurant. I think you did the honorable thing. You cleaned up down there, but you wouldn't. I didn't do that. I wouldn't have done that. I would have let people see how nasty they are, how bad corporate neighbors they are. They just aren't very good. And we're going to deal with that. We're going to have to deal with it. That is not normal. Everybody else who has car shows is coordinated. As a matter of fact, one of our council members has a car show, and it went fine. When I say it went fine, it doesn't mean that people don't do things. I think on your car show, we wrote 6 tickets.
It happens.
But it didn't. But you didn't cause it. Some of the folks who go to the car shows and they weren't in your place, they were just around it. We had 2 police officers out. I'm not going to call on the chief to get him in the middle of it right now, unless it's necessary. But it was unexpected, and it's almost like you can call a flash mob nowadays with social media. That's what you have to deal with. Come on down, we got whatever they're giving away, and they create a car show and without telling us. Okay, or is it my responsibility as manager to monitor what they do and go clean up? It's not, while it's an honorable thing, it's pretty cool to go down and clean up, but we can't clean up after Tiki Bar every time they throw an impromptu event. That's just not the business we ought to be in. So we're probably going to find out if there's legislation that we need to make to prohibit that kind of activity in the future. Right now, we believe the disturbing of the peace deserves review. We don't know if a warrant will be issued, but I have instructed the police chief to package that up and send it for a warrant. And if we can put somebody in jail for a misdemeanor disturbance of the peace, we will do that. That's my response to what happened to that impromptu event.
I mean, I don't think there's much more to say than kind of what's been spoken of, besides figuring the fact that I was brought up that my family's restaurant, we have hosted car shows, and there is significant amount of planning on the back end during the car show, after the car show. The cleanup, people do throw stuff on the ground. We put 12 to 15 trash cans throughout the facility to try to limit that, and we understood people still throw things on the ground, so I personally went out after each one of my car shows and cleaned up after it, because I know people aren't the best humans they can be. But the lack of planning and the lack of notice, it's just not fair. It's not fair to the people that represent the city. It's not fair that people that work for the city. It's just, it's not nice. It's not a good thing to do for your fellow neighbors.
They are not good corporate neighbors. They haven't been. The citizens of Wall Lake are paying for that. We're subsidizing a new group, I guess, in the last few years, who are not corporate good neighbors. They don't participate the same way other people downtown do. They don't help the same way other people do, and they create more problems. It's unnecessary. Had they given us a heads up, we could have had a better plan. We could have worked it out ahead of time and worked with them, but we've not experienced any of that. We've experienced pushback at every turn. As a matter of fact, at least one of those employees has told one of our police officers who was parked in the lot to get out of the lot. And I won't forget that anytime soon. So.
We have many events that are planned in conjunction with our city that are, come off very well and organized, and this was not the case. This is not the norm.
We don't blame the restaurant for the knuckleheads that come squealing their tires, which is another issue. But had we had advance notice, we would have had extra people, and then we can deal with that. And of course, those are infractions. The police officers have to witness that to be able to write a ticket. They'll write tickets when they're available and they see that. But when you have a major event and without any prior notice, when you have that many people, you don't send one of your officer, 2 of your officer into a crowd to enforce an infraction. If something serious happens, then they have to be available for that. But That's why you plan ahead, so you have extra officers, and then you can do that. And like I said, in one of the car shows, when there was planning, we had officers and we wrote tickets to the knuckleheads who were doing something different than what the supporters of the car show wanted. They want good behavior too. But always in a car show, there's somebody who wants to show you how loud their muffler is, usually a Honda with an extended exhaust or something, you know, with the wing on it that makes them more manly, and they make a lot of noise and make it backfire. And then you have the real muscle cars who squeal, and that makes people pretty angry and marks on the road. That's not the cause of the restaurant. I get that. The restaurant causes it when they invite people down without preparation. So we're going to see where we can go with that. We'll be sitting with the city attorney and see what legislation we can offer you up in the coming months and see if we can deal with it in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your response to it. You know, I got to see it firsthand, and it was not a good look. You know, tons of police down there, all with their lights flashing, talked to neighbors. They were, you know, these cars were parking in their yards and their lots and in their yards, and they were asking them, please don't park in our yard, and they were being yelled at. This is not what we do. This is not Walled Lake, and I'm glad that our administration and our police are working on this to bring some, you know, finalization to this. I mean, we just can't have this. It was bad.
It's not just that event. There's other things going on. Like I said, when you're intoxicated, serving up or having interaction with customers, then the Liquor Control Commission needs to know about that. There's rules and regulations that prohibit that kind of nonsense, and that could be the reason there's no planning. You know, there's issues down there. Let's just keep it under the heading of bad corporate neighbors. When it gets worse than that, I'll report to each one of you individually or at the meeting. But there's where we are right now, and if we don't get their attention, we'll be back here for legislation, whatever else we need. Sit down, the police chief and I will sit down with the city attorney and see what else we can do to prepare some proposed legislation in any way we can. Their business license turns on us. And you know, I think this seems trivial to some people who have much bigger issues, but they get a license issued by the city, and if they're not cooperating and they're causing a hazard, causing a nuisance, those kind of things can happen. And if that's the game they want to play, then we will do that. We'll bring it to you.
I look forward to seeing your results.
We just may do that.
I do just want to conclude that the men and women, our police officers, our Walled Lake police officers, that were able to go assist during that, I do thank you. Again, with the late of no notice, besides the phone calls that started pouring in, I mean, I do appreciate that you guys took that time to go try to control that chaos that happened on that evening. Thank you.
This council supports our city. And that
You have, in the last 12 and a half years I've been here, this council and the mayor has supported the police administration, fire from day one, and Public Works. That's why we've been able to keep it running with a skeleton crew, because we get support, and I got a team, look over there, I got the best team in Oakland County.
You call it skeleton crew, I call it efficient as possible.
Efficiency is probably a better way. You know, one day one's in charge and everybody gets under that. And the last thing I'll say, the example of what I'm going to tell you is one person's in charge of whatever this is, and they all fall in behind that person. And an example is that, and each of you probably witnesses, is the great job that my city clerk did in the elections. And if you voted in person or you went in, you saw the city clerk going back and forth in the ballots in the room, but you saw our deputy clerk, who's also our personnel administrator. She was sort of the overlord in there. You saw Miss Jakeway, who's in charge of things over here, but she was running the show at the precinct level. And if you really paid attention, you saw that little young woman back in the back who's in charge of Monarch Butterflies. My daughter, Loretta Witt, was a volunteer. No pay, but she got to see voting up close, and I'd like to think she helped a little bit. So she's participating. But the team does it well, and that's the last I need to say tonight, is the election. From where we stood, and I'm not talking about who got elected, I'm talking about being able to do the operation of election was a phenomenal success because they all worked together. They fell in behind our city clerk and made it work for her, and the police did a great job. The fire department did a great job set up over there, getting that done. So that's how it works. The public safety is covered all the time. The extra parking worked for us because there was a lot of folks out here this time. It seemed more, like all day long busy. The public works folks set up. So I'm proud of everybody. It was really a good year for us this year. I'm really happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm telling you that now in November, because we're not meeting in December. We're just going to light the tree up. So
It's a good team.
yeah,
It really is a great.
proud of all of them.
It's a great team. All right. Moving on, any correspondence?
No, Mayor Pro Tem.
And now our attorney's report. Van?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I don't have anything to report on for this meeting.
Very good, thank you. Unfinished business. The second reading, C 364-22, Zoning Boards of Appeals Ordinance Amendment to Chapter 51, Zoning Article 23.
Osanek will make the motion to approve second reading.
Woods will second.
Do we have discussion? Not seeing any. We will roll call, please.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke. Lublin.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on to new business. A request for approval of the recommendation of the CDBG funds for the program year 2023. That was our Community Development Block Grant Program, which we had our open, the public hearing on. Do I have a motion?
Woods will make the motion for the approval of the recommendation of the CDBG funds for the program year 2023.
Ambrose will second that.
Any discussion? Jennifer, roll call, please.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke. Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
We heard you.
Got it.
Next item in new business, Traffic Control Order 22-07, no left turn at Guest Elementary. Do I have a motion?
Woods will make the motion to approve traffic control order 22-07, no left turn for Guest Elementary.
Fernandez will second.
Mr. Chairman,
Discussion.
with regard to the traffic control orders, you have 3 of them here. This is the beginning, and the response will be the same. After reviewing the traffic flows and the issues that come up, instructed the chief of police and his team to take a look at that, review it, and determine if we needed to put those kinds of safeties in place. He determined that it was in order to give that a shot. So you have before you that traffic control. You see 2 of them are at the school, and then the other one is over there on Maple, where we have one business. It gets very busy, and it's apparently doing a pretty good business, but the danger is when they're coming out, turning left into a very busy Maple Road. I personally have witnessed and almost engaged, because when you're coming out, we gas up, I gas at Mobile, pulling out, and they shoot out trying to beat the traffic, when in fact, if you turn right out of that establishment, go up and make your Michigan turn, you do the same thing, it takes another minute, but the safety of it, and the chief did some reviews and found out there has been an increase in accidents in that area over there because of, we believe, because of the increased traffic. if there's anything that we've got because of the new business is increased traffic. So what the chief is trying to do is to improve traffic flow and provide safety. So that's why we have these 3 traffic orders before you.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right, we'll take the roll call on the first one.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Fernandez?
Yes.
Locke? Lublin?
Yes?
Osnick?
Yes.
Woods?
Yes.
Ackley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on to Traffic Control Order 22-07, no left turn at, Traffic Control Order 2208, no stopping, standing, parking guest at Parking Guest Elementary.
Olson will make the motion.
Woods will second.
Do we have discussion on that? I think it's about safety and...
Mine is the same as response was before. I covered them all 3, so.
Yeah, mine is the
Traffic
same.
flow.
Mine is the same too. In fact, with the administration from Guest and the PTA group there, they're pretty happy about this.
Okay, good.
Let's do it. Very good. Roll
Chief-
call.
Yeah, Chief did a good job with his team getting over there and taking a look at it and making a call, so we appreciate his work.
Thank you, Chief. Roll
For-
call?
Fernandez?
Yes.
Locke? Lublin?
Yes.
Osnick?
Yes.
Woods?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Ackley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. Item number 4, Traffic Control Order 22-09, no left turn at 1760 E West Maple Road. And I think that's under the same idea, traffic safety and flow.
Woods will make the motion to approve Traffic Control Order 2209, no left turn at 1760 East-West Maple Road.
Ambrose will second that.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Locke? Lublin?
Yes.
Osnick?
Yes.
Woods?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Fernandez?
Yes.
Ackley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Number 5, proposed resolution on 2022-38, proposed regular schedule of meetings for 2023. Do we have a motion?
Olson will make the motion.
Support?
Fernandez will second.
Do we have discussion?
It might be,
Problem with a certain date?
no, it might be a silly question. We've pre-checked the dates to make sure that they don't fall on any in particular holidays or anything.
Yes, we have. However, there's always
The one.
possibility of,
Okay. No, I was just curious. Okay.
yes, sir.
That was my only discussion. Thank you.
I'm looking up.
I got Vanna thinking.
I apologize, I'm being slow on my phone. Got to put it in the year. Looks good. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Lublin?
Yes.
Osnick?
Yes.
Woods?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Fernandez?
Yes.
Locke? Ackley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to get a motion to pass the proposed resolution 2022-39, meeting cancellation of the December 6, 2022 City Council meeting. We have a
Olson will
motion?
make that motion.
Ambrose will second it.
Do we have discussion? I think we've discussed this before. It's time to be with family and
This is
Enjoy
about the
our
third or fourth year that we've done this. So it's just kind of a keeping up with a tradition in Walled Lake, if you will.
Like that, tradition.
Roll call, please.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke. Lublin.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. And on to the 2022 Auto Auction Vehicle Surplus Bid Award. I would think that would be our Chief Shekinnis.
They each have this at their seat, Chief.
I can also screen share.
Council, do you have Resolution 22-40?
Well, you know, I can, before we have you discuss, maybe we should make a motion first.
That parliamentary procedure would be useful to get the motion and second and discuss it. He can report ahead of time before you make a motion, maybe that, so,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, good evening. Good evening, Council. What we have the surplus vehicles and equipment from Public Works, Fire, and the Police Department. This year, we had 6 different vehicles: 2009 GMC, 05 Ford F-150, Kubota tractor from DPW, and 3 police chargers. We received bids on all of them. All those were into the clerk's office and were sealed bids and were open yesterday. The 6 bids that we received, the high bids, we recommend that council approve all of them considering the market conditions. I'd like to see these vehicles moved out and on from get them out of the parking lot. It's time. So, as far as high bids, the 2009 GMC, the highest bid was $8,500. The 2005 Ford F-150 was $3,300. The 2001 Kubota tractor was $7,530. 2017 Dodge Charger, $6,500. 2015 Dodge Charger and VIN ending in 90 was $13,000. And the 2015 Charger ending in VIN 91 was for $4,700.
Thank you, Chief. Do we have someone want to make that motion?
Woods will make the motion to approve the resolution for the acceptance of the bids.
Fernandez, second.
Discussion?
No, thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
It's administration's recommendation to the chief that we award the bids as presented to you.
Very
Well,
good.
thank you all.
Roll call, please.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke. Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Ackley.
We're not hearing it come through, but she's probably listening. Very
Yes.
good. Motion is approved.
Thank you,
Or the
Council.
resolution is
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
supported, approved. Moving on to our added performance review for our city manager and our city attorney.
Mayor and members of council, as we close our calendar year business and set out to enjoy the holiday season, I believe that it may be timely to consider the annual performance of our city attorney, as it is our duty as a legislative body. I make a motion to find and determine that the city attorney's annual review and performance evaluation for his work during the 2022 calendar year was satisfactory. And secondarily, I'll make another motion.
No, one at a time.
What?
We'll do one at a time.
One at a
One at a
time.
time? Okay, let's do one at a
Have a
time.
motion there,
Ambrose will make the motion of the satisfactory.
or,
I
okay,
made the motion, all in the
Oh,
order.
I second it. Yeah, I guess I'll second it.
okay. Do we have discussion?
Let me add something here. First of all, if you're making the motion to give him a satisfactory, he's not going to object, but under his contract, he has the right to sit down and discuss the criteria, as I do. And so when you get there, I'll explain that even more if you need be. My view on our city attorney's performance is excellent, much more than satisfactory. We've won everything we fought for. He's delivered for not only this year, but previous years, and he's partly responsible why we're a success here in recent years, and there's simply no doubt that his satisfactory performance, as identified by all of you here, it's excellent. So I recommend you do that. But he does have, in theory, you have a right to say, look, let's talk about what the criteria. But since Mr. Osnick, Councilman Osnick's motion is to say it's satisfactory, he's going to be okay with that. That's my call.
Well, do we have any other discussion? I think satisfactory is the lesser side of our approval, for sure.
Satisfactory.
He's going to be extremely happy with
One
that.
level. You could say he's
Excellent, yeah.
downright excellent, whereas the Marines would say outstanding.
I was thinking it's like outrageous, like amazing.
We've
you know?
won everything that he's taken on.
Good.
And the reason you win is because you fight. If you roll over, that's not a win. It's not necessarily a loss, but it's like a tie in football. Who wants that? We fight. I probably encourage him to fight every time. Gives me good legal advice. He gives you good legal advice, and he wins. So he's one of the best.
Very well done.
Yep.
Roll call?
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fernandez,
Yes.
Locke, Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, members of council.
Thank you, Van.
Thank you, Van.
Thanks,
I
Van.
had thought you got off the horn. Went hunting.
I'm still here.
I didn't know you were listening. I wouldn't have said all of that.
You just wanted to hear the outstanding.
Yeah.
Let me just say that winning is a team effort, and the city has a very good staff, and they do a very good job, and they all make my job a lot easier, and it's a big contribution to what I do. As the saying goes, a craftsman is only as good as the tools and materials he's been given to work with, and I've been given very good tools and very good materials to work with. So that's been a big factor in the successes that the city has had.
Well said, Van.
Thanks, Van.
Thank you again.
That's a good comment, yes.
John, you have...
Moving along, I'll make a motion to find and determine that the city manager's annual review and performance evaluation for his work during the 2022 calendar year was satisfactory. Nay, again, outstanding. When you consider that we've gotten Decker Road finished, we got the sidewalk on Decker Road finished, we got Potack Trail finished, the beach is looking fantastic, the drainage issues downtown have been remediated. That's a lot that's accomplished.
Public safety
And it's-
campus.
So public safety campus, all of it. It's been an outstanding year, and it's all due to the fine effort of this man and his staff.
The entire staff of the city.
The entire, the entire
Yes.
staff, yes, indeed. That's my motion.
Support?
Absolutely.
All right, it sounded like that was...
Woods is who
There
I
we go.
had. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I jumped. I got a little excited.
Any
No,
discussion?
that's fine. Whatever you want me.
Was there any discussion?
I mean, you hit it on the tee, John. I mean, from managing the city in one aspect and then managing the entire team of the city official, or the city administration. He's a great person to work with, a great person that's a leader, above satisfactory of excellent, amazing. Thank you.
Very good. Roll call.
Thank you.
Fernandez,
Yes.
Locke, Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Ackley.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not quite so
Yes.
articulate as our city attorney, as he has a law degree, but I do have a couple of master's degrees, so I'll try to explain why my success for this year exists. And it has to do with those young women sitting over there and those handsome young men over there, and then another deputy chief somewhere behind, but no matter, a leader can't, leader has to be able to lead, but you have to accomplish things with staff. And if I didn't have the staff that I've got, and I'm missing one, I would want to miss her. She's not here tonight. She had some other issues, and that is Miranda Gross, who's an invaluable part of the team. She's our HR administrator. But had this team not stayed together, we wouldn't have been able to complete all of these things, and as you say, as efficiently as we have been doing that. So thank you very much, and I'm good with that evaluation. Thank you very much, Council Member Osnick.
Not a problem.
Yeah. Thank you, Mayor. She's still
All
there.
right, council comments. Start with you, Mindy.
I'm here. Thank you. I've been on muting so I don't interrupt.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, council comments.
Sure. I'd like to congratulate City Clerk Stewart and her team on a great election. It is always flawless in Walled Lake. It's an easy process, and you make it so. So you work hard, and I know you work hard all year to make those 2 days or 3 days go well. So we do appreciate that. I want to remind everybody that about the Christmas tree lighting and the menorah lighting. Those both will be on the city website coming up here, and I want to encourage everybody to come out and enjoy those festivities by the city. And also want to wish one of our fellow city council members happy birthday.
Thank you, Mindy.
Happy birthday, Keeks.
Thank you.
And also want to remind everybody to have a great Thanksgiving and count your blessings, because we all have them.
Nicely said. Councilman Woods?
Also want to second the voting and everything that occurred there. You walked in, right, and every booth was taken. However, it was in and out. It was quick. You walked in, and you were walking right out after doing a 2-page ballot. So that was very impressive. You know, earlier with our bridge opening, right? So bikes, bridges, butterflies. You know, it's a little bit bigger than that. It's all the work that's been done in the past to get to that point. And opening that bridge is more reflective of where Walled Lake is going in the future. You know, playground equipment, a new fire truck, new police vehicles, paying off the DPW bond debt. You know, the grant money for Pontiac Trail, Decker Road, sidewalks, parks, paving. I mean, you could go on and on. So, you know, bikes, bridges, and butterflies is much more than that, and that bridge really represents kind of the past of where Walled Lake was in the future that we're heading to. So, to everybody from, you know, the administration, the council, the mayor, admin, police, fire, DPW, all of the boards too, right? And it reflects back to what you said in the DDA meeting, right? And you said tonight, it's a team effort here. So all of that work, you see it every day, but it's amazing, all of it coming together and where we're going.
Thank
Very
you.
well said.
Yes.
Councilman Ambrose.
I mean, I can't back up Councilmember Woods enough on the amount of work that gets done in this city, from the administration level to anything and everything else, from roads to parks. I mean, it's a month from last month's meeting, and the amount of things that were accomplished, from the Pontiac Trail resurfacing to the new fence that is on Mercer Beach property, to the opening of the trail bridge, the Linear Park Trail. That is amazing. I mean, it's just the further progression is just, it's a great thing to be a resident of Walled Lake, a business owner of Walled Lake, or just somebody that visits Walled Lake. We look the part, we act the part, and it really shows, from, again, administration to officials to everybody that comes to a line, to have that overall goal of just trying to benefit the community we call home. So I thank you, from you to you. Thank you.
Nice.
Indeed.
Councilman Osinick.
Well, all I can say is we look forward to having more new members on the council and on the boards, because it is incumbent upon the younger folks to carry on what we've started. We started 12 and a half years ago looking at disaster in the eye, and we've come so far And it's going to be up to the younger generation to step up and carry on what we've started. And they have a big set of boots to follow. But that's it.
I'll go, and then we'll have the mayor's report. One of the projects that we forgot this year was the Riley Park play structure, which was a great success, and how
Ryan
nice
picked
that
that one
is.
up, I heard it. He got it, you know.
Oh, you did have that one.
Yeah,
Right, I was saying a lot.
He mentioned it, yeah.
Jennifer, that's in the record, correct?
And I look forward to the future. That, I mean, this team is, I think that the team is happy, and we get great production out of everyone, and we will continue to do good things, to do great things in Walled Lake. So, and everyone, happy holidays, enjoy, and as you said, Councilwoman Fernandez, enjoy the blessings that we have. Absolutely. The glass is half full.
Always.
Right.
Always half full.
Great.
How about the mayor's report? Can we get a connection?
I'm not sure, if you can.
I don't, you're choppy. You are choppy,
It doesn't
Mayor
sound
Ackley.
like it. Doesn't look like it anyway. I am. I'll see you all at the pre-lighting.
Very nice, very nice. We got that.
Got that one.
Very good.
All right, thank you, Mayor. And with that, motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Happy holidays.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
Indeed.